sniper entries can do more harm than good to you guys in the market, and there's a lot of popularity online explaining why sniper entries are the best. But in this video I'm going to show you guys why I think sniper entries can do more harm than good. So if you find that interesting, definitely stick around. Welcome back guys, Harry here, known as Trade Sharp, and in this video we're going to talk about the so-called sniper entries, and I'm going to explain to you how entering basically what sniper entries, entering on lower time frames, trying to get the smallest stop loss possible, and I'm going to explain to you how sniper entries can actually do more harm than good, and you're more likely to blow your account using sniper entry or just get more losses in general if you're going to follow and trade on lower time frames. So in this video I'm going to cover what I think about it, how to avoid, and what you have to understand to be able to trade on lower time frame, because lower time frame entries are possible and it is something that can help you in your trading, but you have to do certain steps which I'm going to explain to be able to trade on lower time frames. So let's get straight into the video. As always guys, before we start the video, can you please leave a like and subscribe? I can't tell you how much it helps and it supports the video, gets it out to more people. If we can get this video to above 100 likes, I would really appreciate it. And if you enjoy the content on my YouTube channel, please feel free to visit it, learn from it. And yeah, that's basically what I want to say. Down below are some free groups that you guys can join to chat with me, ask any questions you may have, and generally, take analysis and ideas. So let's get into the video and talk about sniper entries here. So when it comes to sniper entries, I don't like the term sniper entries. I don't really think it's suitable, because trading should be something serious, and relating it to a game, calling it sniper entry, yeah, it could be gimmicky, but to be honest, all it means is entering on lower time frames with the smallest stop loss possible. Now, this is actually going to do more harm than good to you in your trading, because most of you people don't really understand how trading actually works, and don't understand how to analyze higher time frames, because the lower time frame you go, the more you're playing with fire, right? So, and you have to understand that trading lower time frame demands a lot of skill, and also will have more error because of the inconsistencies we see on lower time frames. These markets are designed for people to lose, and the reason why they lose is because they're too busy trying to, you see, if you look at general trading and investing and stuff like that, that is based on higher time frame outlooks. But the whole idea of trading very short time frame is not actually something that was intended to happen, but people have developed into a day trading and developed into trading lower time frames and scalping. But this is where more error can be made. So we have to go back to the roots of trading the higher time frames, where most of your ideas should come from. That will allow you to be able to use the lower time frames, not get sniper entries. So you have to understand, entering on lower time frames means you're using lower time frames as confirmation, which is completely wrong. So to sum up, what we're going to do is you have to first understand what is going on with your higher time frame. So let's take this GJ as an example here. So let's say we have this daily candle closing bearish like this right here, right? So we have this daily candle closing bearish. Obviously we can see this drive down. Forget about where we are in the market, we're just going to use this as an example here. So with this candle closing bearish, we obviously have bearish pressure. Breaking the low should give us a move towards, at minimum, this area right here, or should give us a move even deeper, right? So this is your understanding your higher time frame. If you don't understand this, how are you going to trade the lower time frames? Once you understand this, you do the same analysis for the 4 hour. I have so many videos explaining about how to do top-down analysis and stuff like that. But as we can see, the 4 hours closing bearish below the support here, right? So if the candle closing below the support here, we can expect a wick fill and to fill into this certain area if these highs are respected, right? So now as we go lower in the time frames, we understand that this is the area that should be filled, and we're going to look for, what are we going to look for? We're going to look for entries here. And where are entries going to come? On lower time frames. Now what you have to understand is that when you try, say this is our entry here, right? So this is a nice entry. We pushed down past the zone, created this target here. We pulled back up, retested exactly our resistance here. This is our 4 hour resistance, and closed bearish with a rejection from it. There should be your stop, and then there's your target down here. But now people, what they'll try do is they'll try get a sniper entry right up in these wicks here, okay? And this is what ends up happening, and this is where people get it wrong. There is no need to be able to enter up here, and I'm gonna tell you why. And this is very, very important, guys, because if you trade lower time frames, you end up predicting, not getting the proper. So the lower time frames you go, the more you predict. because the lower time frames build these higher. This 15-minute candle here was built by 15 1-minute candles and 3 5-minute candles. So you are predicting how the next, if you were taking an entry of one 5-minute bearish close, you're predicting that the next two bearish 5 minutes are gonna, the next two 5 minutes are also gonna close bearish to give you a 15-minute candle bearish. But if you get a higher time frame confirmation like the 15-minute, then you can use the lower time frames to try get an entry maybe on the pullback, on the up wick, the top wick of the next candle, then to continue down. But you need the base, you need the confirmation. Entering on lower time frames is kind of like if you're lucky to get it. Does that make sense? So what happens is you get the confirmation from the 4-hour, came from the 4-hour. Now we're going to look, let's say my trading plan, I look to enter on the 15 and 30-minute time frame. So if I look to enter on the 15-minute time frame and 30-minute, here's my confirmation. Okay, great. Now let's see how I could have entered on lower time frames here, right? So I could see, here's my confirmation. Now I know I can just press sell, but if I go here onto the 1 minute, I can see, all right, great. Basically my entry was the best entry here, right? So that was my entry on the 15-minute close. There's no better entry here. Now entering up here at this resistance is highly risky because there's no confirmation that we're going to reject here. 1 minute just rejecting like this could end up doing this. Why didn't you sell here? And why are you selling here? This could have been a retest to this resistance here, and we could have got continuation like we were getting continuation here. So anyone selling, probably a lot of people were selling here, boom, you're in big trouble now with this candle coming up, pushing past into this zone here. So you have to understand that when you go on lower time frames, you're going to just make your trading more complicated, and trading should be to make profits in the simplest way possible. So don't try and make it more complicated. Use the lower time frames. Once you understand, once you can be consistent, and this is what I'm going to say, once you can be consistent saying, okay, I entered on the 15, it's a win. Now you can look to, okay, how can I make my entries better, right? So now you can say, okay, was there an option on the 5-minute? 5-minute best option. And you see, most of the time it is a better option. So where can we use the lower time frames for our entry? Well, we can use lower time frames for our entry when we start seeing, stuff like this. So let's say, for an example, we were looking for buys above here. Okay, so we're looking for buys above here, above this zone. Let's just take an example when candle close above. So let's see, 5-minute just pushed through. What did we have on the 1-minute candle close here? So if we expect volume time, so this is coming close. See, this is 10:57, 3 minutes before London open. We have the 1-minute closing above this zone. You can expect, okay, volume to continue, and you can anticipate, as I said, predict. You can predict the next candle to close above, which if you look at the 15-minute here, when it did close above, and then we got this top wick and then rejected down. But my point is that lower time frames should be used in a very strategic way. They should be used once you have the confirmation here. The confirmation came from this 15-minute bullish candle. The continuation is coming from that 1-minute close, but here's your confirmation. Don't be using the lower time frames as confirmation. Use them as an entry means, but make sure that your confirmation is from higher time frames. If you're not at that level yet, then just be entered on the candle closures. That is the best way. And don't think that a 5-minute or 1-minute candle closure is going to have the same power as a confirmation from a 15 or 30 or even a 1-hour close. So when I always show price action trading, I show that we need a close above certain ranges, a close below a certain range to give us those moves, right? So when we're looking at candle closures, we're talking about 15, 30-minute, 1-hour candle closures. That's enough confirmation. But when it comes to trading lower time frames and candle closures don't mean anything, because they're on lower time frame. What is important on lower time frames is how the structure is forming. If you're looking for buys, all of these candle closures on lower time frames, 5 and 1 minute, they don't make a difference. But seeing how the structure forms on the lower time frame will give you the confidence to take entries once you see structure change on lower time frames, anticipating that if this is the 5-minute, we have 5:10, then the next 15-minute candle is closing bullish. Right? How do we know this? Well, let's say we have a 4-hour candle closing bullish like this. Okay, this is going to be the last example. I don't want to get too much in depth, but we'll get a little bit in depth. This is more of an advanced video, but let's say we have a 4-hour candle closing bullish on the lower time frames. We pull back, and now we're starting to create support here, right? So we created a 15-minute bullish candle, but that's still not enough. Our bias is bullish because the 4-hour close bullish. Now on the lower time frames, we're seeing it pull back like this. Now once it pulled back, we see it make a higher low like this. So now on the lower time frames, we see it pull back and make a higher low. This is giving me the confidence that the lower time frame structure is making higher lows. And if lower time frame structure is making higher lows, then you can anticipate the next candle to also close bullish. And that is the only time when you can use lower time frames to enter earlier. But remember, this is a very advanced technique, and this is a technique that I would not recommend if you can't even be able to take the trade and understand when the higher time frame candles closures. Does that mean, is that a good confirmation or not? This is more going into advanced part of your trading and trying to better your entries, which at to an extent you don't really need to if you're making good profits. Why make it more complicated, right? Don't fix, what's the saying? If it ain't broken, don't fix it. So that's the saying. That's how I'm gonna end the video here. Hope this video helped. I know it will be a bit confusing to people who are beginners, but this was more of an advanced video. I wanted to get out more advanced content. So with that being said, guys, take care, trade sharp, and until next time, peace.